Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is crazy. This is gonna be my thoughts on this new news announcement. Funimation and Crunchyroll are going to be starting a partnership, and I think that is honestly amazing. This is probably the biggest, probably not one of, but probably the biggest North American legal anime streaming news announcements ever. You got the powerhouses of anime in North America, Funimation, who's the king of dubs, and Crunchyroll, who's the king of subs, working together for the first time. Basically, what this article on Funimation's website says is that uh, in the future, I don't know if people know if it's really clear yet, but for uh, Funimation is going to be acquiring Crunchyroll shows, both ones that are airing right now, summer 2016 titles, and any simulcast in the future, as well as possibly Crunchyroll's backlog of shows that haven't been taken up by Sentai Filmworks, and they are going to be dubbing them. And they will be streaming on Funimation's website. And at the same time, Funimation backlog shows, such as shows like Crunchyroll Psycho Pass and Grimgar Fantasy of Ash, are already on Crunchyroll's website as of right now, sub only. So what's going on is that Crunchyroll will be getting Funimation shows subtitled, while Funimation gets Crunchyroll shows and dubbing them. And this is honestly a brilliant idea because you get fans like me who love a really good dub and get kind of disappointed when you find out that Crunchyroll is getting the licensing rights. Like this season, I was really bummed out when I found out Mob Psycho was getting added to Crunchyroll because I expected a dub, and now it's getting a dub. Funimation says already they have confirmed that dubs for 91 Days, Orange, and Mob Psycho 100 will be coming in the near weeks. They are also getting the free season 1 dub and Testament of Sister New Devil. So this is crazy, honestly. Much more anime is going to be shared between these two sites. At the same time, though, this is where I want to talk about the business end. This kind of is going to become a monopoly between the two. Now, Funimation isn't buying out Crunchyroll, Crunchyroll isn't buying out Funimation, but because they're working together, it's going to kind of destroy Sentai Filmworks, I think. Sentai Filmworks does not have the budget that Funimation has when it comes to licensing shows from Crunchyroll, which is, if you don't know, Sentai Filmworks is another studio very similar to Funimation. They buy titles and then they stream them on their site, uh, and then they release them on DVD. Now, what they do differently is they typically only buy shows that Crunchyroll starts streaming first and release, and then they acquire the rights midway through the season and then release it on their site slowly or on Hulu as they had done in the past. Uh, and then they release them either sub only on DVD or with a dub. The problem is Sentai dubs are nowhere near the amount of quality that Funimation dubs are. So this will kind of totally destroy them because they're not going to have the money to buy shows that Funimation will get now for free for their partnership. So before the season starts, they are going to have to buy shows not from Crunchyroll anymore. And I don't know if they have the funds to do that. This also leads into things like, what about Discotech, Media Blasters, or Viz Media, or Pony Canyon? I personally believe that Discotech and Media Blasters will be okay because they rely on other forms of DVD, other forms of Japanese entertainment, and their shows that they pick up usually go to Crunchyroll after they've already been released on DVD, so I'm not worried. Viz Media has money to spend. Like, they can get any show they want, basically. They got One Punch Man, and this also ties into Daisuki, which is a streaming-only site. I'm not worried necessarily for those two because Viz, they also have their manga sales. They sell One Piece, Naruto, Bleach. Like, they got the big three of shonen, so they have the money for any show they want to buy. And they really only like the really big popular shows. They don't. Their main source of income is from manga and anime sales for Naruto and Bleach, whereas One Piece is owned by Funimation for the anime rights. So not too worried about that. There is Hulu and wait, I didn't talk about Daisuki yet. Daisuki is kind of weird. I don't know how they're gonna survive, honestly. I think they might be screwed out a little bit unless they have the money to do it. Not exactly sure. But then you got Hulu and Netflix. Hulu has been on the decline in terms of anime recently. They lost a bunch of Sentai Filmworks shows. They lost a bunch of Funimation shows. every season, Funimation shows used to be added to their site right away as soon as they aired, but now it's no longer true. Same with Sentai shows. Hasn't happened since I believe the this winter 2016 season. So they've been not so enthused about having anime on their site as much anymore. So that's not really a concern. I think Sentai might be going back to Hulu because they're going to need a source of income if they can't go to if because no one uses their site to stream it. So they probably make money off Crunchyroll, but now they're not going to be able to. Uh, the Some people I saw a video for Neverworld said he thinks that Netflix is going to suffer. I don't think that's the case because I believe Netflix has an Aniplex agreement of some sort because they got the Seven Deadly Sins, which was dubbed by Aniplex. Oh yeah, Aniplex. I didn't talk about them. I think they'll be fine because they produce anime. They're a Japanese company with an American branch. I think they'll be okay. I don't think they'll suffer at all. Uh, I think this is Funimation wants to get back at them too because they lost Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Baccano. They're losing Birdie the Mighty, and they lost Darker Than Black. So I think they're pretty pissed at Aniplex and probably want to cut ties with them. So that's also probably why they're doing this. But Netflix, I don't see like Netflix has enough money from other things that they don't need to worry that they're going to lose money on their anime. They have the money to buy one or two shows a season, and I think that's okay. That adds to diversity because that's going to give money to Sentai and Aniplex, who tend to dub these shows that Netflix picks up. Netflix got Ajin, which I think was a Aniplex dub, but I'm not sure. I know Seven Deadly Sins was because Bryce Papenbrook was the star. Uh, I know Knights of Sidonia was a Sentai show because Sentai released it on DVD. So I'm not really worried about Netflix. Overall, I think that this is an amazing partnership because and Funimation's going to be cheaper. It's going to be $6 a month for dubs only, I believe, which I think is great because I'm definitely going to resubscribe. I typically only subscribe to Funimation over the summer because I feel like that I would get distracted during the school year because I love dubs. I like subs, but I like dubs. Just if a show is dubbed, I prefer to watch it dubbed. But I think I'm gonna get it full year because they're gonna have so many more broadcast dubs, and then I can watch any show basically dubbed. I think that they're not going to dub everything though. Like I think this is going to lead to Crunchyroll and Funimation not picking up the crappier shows. I know it's a bad term, but like the shows they know aren't going to sell. They typically go like they come in bundles. I think if they're from the same distributor in Japan. So I think they're going to try to avoid these shows because sometimes Crunchyroll or Funimation, if they don't get enough titles one season, they might just buy them to stream just so they can get more revenue. I don't know if this will necessarily happen anymore. So that might be good for companies like Sentai, which I'm not gonna lie, Sentai's catalog is not very good. So this might help Sentai in the long run. Overall, though, I'm very excited for this partnership as I feel there's a lot of potential, and I know I'm gonna subscribe to Funimation in the near future. The problem is I don't know if it's worth subscribing to Crunchyroll if I'm gonna be able to watch everything dubbed. Like, and I don't, that's just my problem. So I'm gonna have to figure that out on my own. But I just want to thank you guys for watching. This is pretty amazing news, honestly, and this just kind of blows my mind. Definitely check out for Neverworld's video because I did mention his Netflix point. I'm not gonna lie though, I think there are a lot of I don't know if he knew all the facts because there were some things that he said that just seemed off to me. Glass Reflection did a very good video. He actually got his out earlier tonight, and before, like, I thought of everything he said basically. Like, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I kind of was gonna say all those points in this video. So definitely check out his. His is probably more spot on. So I just, again though, I want you guys to definitely find out. This is great. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely make sure to stay tuned, and I'll talk to you guys soon.